Bachelorette Jonathon Johnson defends, praises Marcus Shoberg after final. Bachelorette alum Jonathon Johnson came to the defense of Marcus Shoberg after many have been hateful to him following his time on the show. Marcus was never able to get to where he was ready for an engagement with Jen Tran. She ended up sending him home before their final date ever happened. Following Tuesday night's finale, he went to Instagram to share his thoughts about everything. On that post, Jonathon came to his defense and said some pretty incredible things about Marcus. Keep reading to find out more. Jonathon Johnson defends Marcus Shoberg. Bachelorette alum Jonathon Johnson finished third on Jen Tran's season of the show. While there, he formed some close bonds with some of the other men, including Marcus Shoberg. Throughout the season, Marcus had a tough time committing fully to his relationship with Jen. He tried to be honest with her throughout the process. She finally sent him home before their final date. After the finale aired, Marcus went to Instagram to share his thoughts on everything that happened. He had endured a lot in his life, including being injured while in the military. He's hoping that he can be a light for others. On his lengthy post, Jonathon commented defending and praising Marcus. He said, "Marcus, you are one of the greatest men I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. You've become one of my best friends, and I've gotten to know you better than many could ever imagine. The words that people have passed around with no validity, just hearsay, has beaten me up to no end. You're an incredible man, and I hope everyone who has ever doubted that gets a chance to know the real you like I have. I love you, dude. Keep striving for greatness. We're proud of you." Jonathon heading to paradise. Jonathon Johnson was asked at the Men Tell All by Jesse Palmer to be the first official cast member for Bachelor in Paradise 2025. He accepted, and it seems he's ready for love. Along with Jonathon, it seems Hakeem will also be heading to the beach next year. So far, these two are the only ones who have said they will be there. Who knows, maybe Marcus will make an appearance as well. The final rose had been handed out, but the drama was far from over. The nation tuned in to watch the epic conclusion of Bachelorette hoping for love and closure. Yet, what they got was a cocktail of emotions that spilled far beyond the confines of the TV screen. Amidst the swirling rumors, angry social media posts, and tabloid headlines, one name dominated the conversation: Marcus Shoberg. In the aftermath of a controversial finale, host Jonathon Johnson found himself in an unfamiliar position, defending one of the most polarizing contestants in the show's history. Marcus, the finalist everyone had expected to walk away with the girl and the fairy tale, was instead left standing alone at the altar of reality TV's most high-stakes love story. But there was more than met the eye, and Johnson knew it. ####, the finale that shook the nation. From the beginning, Marcus was a front-runner. With his piercing blue eyes, a jawline chiseled from marble, and a soft, thoughtful demeanor, it seemed inevitable that the Bachelorette would fall for him. Week after week, Marcus and the Bachelorette, Emma, shared intimate moments that left viewers certain of the outcome. Yet in the finale, as the sun set on the tropical paradise where the final decision would be made, Marcus was left heartbroken as Emma chose his rival, Jacob. Social media exploded. How could she let Marcus go? He's perfect. Jacob's just a rebound. Fans were outraged, some even questioning whether the show had been manipulated for the sake of a shocking conclusion. While most of the vitriol was aimed at Emma and Jacob, Marcus wasn't exempt. As always happens when emotions run high, there were whispers of Marcus being too good to be true, with some detractors digging up details from his past and calling his authenticity into question. In the days following the finale, Jonathon Johnson, who had guided the contestants through the emotional roller coaster of the season, made the unusual decision to publicly defend Marcus. #### Johnson speaks out. On the post-show press tour, Johnson's interviews took on a more serious tone than usual. In a morning show appearance that captured national attention, he addressed the backlash surrounding Marcus head-on. "Look, there's a lot of speculation right now about Marcus, and I think it's unfair," Johnson said, his voice calm but resolute. "I've had the privilege of getting to know these guys behind the cameras, and Marcus is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and that can make him vulnerable in a setting like this, but that's not a flaw, that's bravery." The host paused, choosing his words carefully. What people don't always see is how challenging it is to be in this environment. You're asked to open up in ways you never would in real life, and all while knowing millions of people are watching and judging every move you make. Marcus handled that pressure with grace. He wasn't playing a game, he was living in the moment. #### praise for Marcus' character. The interview immediately went viral, as clips of Johnson's comments circulated online. Many fans were relieved to hear the host sticking up for Marcus, and for good reason. In a reality TV landscape often built on drama and scandal, it was easy for viewers to forget that the people on the show were real human beings with real emotions. Johnson's praise for Marcus wasn't just a defense. It was an acknowledgement of the complex person who had been at the center of the storm. One thing that stands out to me about Marcus is how he treated everyone with respect, from the crew to the other contestants, Johnson continued. He never felt entitled to Emma's love, and that's rare. There's a misconception in this world that just because you're a nice guy, you're owed something. Marcus never acted that way. He genuinely wanted Emma to be happy, even if it wasn't with him. This perspective was refreshing to fans who had followed the show for years. It was a reminder that the Bachelorette wasn't just about winning, it was about finding real, lasting love. And even though Marcus had lost in the end, Johnson believed he had won something much more important: self-respect and the admiration of millions. What truly set Marcus apart, according to Johnson, was his ability to connect on a deeper level. Throughout the season, Marcus had shared vulnerable stories about his family, his past relationships, and his fears about putting himself out there again. It wasn't just small talk, it was an opening into his soul. And for a brief moment it seemed like that authenticity had won over Emma's heart. But reality shows, like real life, don't always go the way we expect. It's easy to sit back and say, "How could Emma not pick him?" Johnson said, but the truth is, love is complicated. Just because someone is amazing doesn't mean they're the right person for you. And that doesn't make them any less worthy of love. ### Marcus response. For his part, Marcus remained gracious in defeat. In his first public statement following the finale, he expressed his gratitude for the journey and wished Emma and Jacob well. "I'll always treasure the time I spent with Emma," Marcus wrote in a heartfelt Instagram post. "And even though it didn't end the way I hoped, I believe everything happens for a reason. I'm looking forward to finding my own happy ending one day." His response only fueled the narrative of Marcus being the perfect guy who had been unjustly rejected. While some contestants in the past had lashed out or spiraled into self-pity after a public breakup, Marcus took the high road, further endearing himself to fans. ### The host's final word. Johnson ended his interview with a poignant thought. At the end of the day, Marcus will be fine. He has a good heart, and that will take him far in life. Sometimes it's not about winning the show. It's about growing from the experience. As the dust settled on another season of The Bachelorette it became clear that while Emma may have chosen Jacob, Marcus had earned something even more valuable: the respect of the nation and a host who wasn't afraid to stand up for him. In a world where reality TV often highlights the worst in people, Marcus Shoberg and Jonathon Johnson reminded us all that there's still room for grace, kindness, and above all, integrity.